Okay, so let's begin with this question. It's on the board. Okay, just zoom it and read. It's about the vertices of the quadrilateral ABC are given all here. Then show that AC and BC bisect each other at right angles. Calculate the ratio line BD is to line AC. Now the B part says the point A, B, C, the vertices are given, are the vertices of the triangle ABC. If H and K are the midpoints of line AB and line AC respectively, find the equation of the line HK. P and Q, the points of intersection of the line HK and the x-axis and the y-axis respectively. Then the third one says the area of triangle OPQ, where O is the origin. Okay, so let's jump into this question. Very, very simple question, but it may take a little while, but we will still get it. Okay, the first thing that we're asked to get here is which were to show that AC and BD bisect each other at right angle. So if two lines bisect each other at right angle, it means that the two lines are perpendicular. And the condition for perpendicularity is when the slope of one multiplies the slope of the other, and the answer is -1, then the two lines are perpendicular. So let's just make a sketch of this quadrilateral. So assuming the quadrilateral I have here is this. So for A, assuming this is my quadrilateral here, and this one here. So I'm assuming that my quadrilateral looks this way. Okay. Okay, so here is A, this is B and C and then D. Okay, so let's put the coordinates given us 4 and 0. 4 and 0 for here, and then 14 and 11 here. 14 and 11 here. Then C is 0 and 6 here. Then D, we have -10 and -5. Okay, they're all given. So now the question says show that AC, that means AC is a line. So if we join this line here, I want to use broken line. You can decide to use normal line to get your own. So now it is a line AC. So we can get the slope of this line AC. Okay. Then we're also supposed to get the line BD. So this is line BD. All right. Line BD. Okay, so these two lines intersect each other somewhere here at the point at this point, and that point of intersection is at 90 degrees. So we can get the slope of BD, we can get the slope of AC. Then when we get it, we can multiply it together. If it gives us -1, then the two lines are perpendicular. So let's go for slope AC. Okay, so we use the formula for slope, which is y2 minus y1 over s2 minus x1. Okay, so since we're moving from A to C, so this one becomes x2, this one becomes y2, this one becomes x1, y1. Okay, so I label like this so it can be easy for me to pick, so I don't make mistake. So y2 is 6 minus y1 is 0 over x2 is 0 minus y2 is 4. So the slope of that one is out, which is going to give us 6 over -4. So I will leave it like that. You don't bother yourself reducing it to the lowest term. So I'm done with the first slope, which is slope of AC. Let me get slope of BD. So which is going to also be MBD is equal to y2 minus y1 over s2 minus x1. So since I'm using B to D, the B becomes x1 and this is y1, then this becomes s2 y2. So it will help you to pick or choose. All right, so this is what we're going to be doing. This is equal to y2 in this BD is -5. So I have a -5 here. Then y1 is 11. So it's going to be -5 minus 11 over s2 is -10. Then minus x1. x1 is 14. So it's going to be -14. So the numerator is going to give us -16. Then the denominator is going to give us -24. So the minuses can cancel out. Okay. So for perpendicularity, circularity. So m1 times m2. If it gives us -1, then the two lines that have the slope m1 and m2 are perpendicular. So we are going to multiply those two slopes. Okay, we're going to multiply those two slopes. So if our answer comes out as -1, then the two lines are perpendicular. So this implies that MAC times MBD. Okay, MBD. Okay, so this is going to be -6/4. So the minus has come up. All right, -6/4 times the second slope is slope of, this is BD, 16/24. Okay, so I think 6 can divide itself here 1. 4 can divide itself here once. 4 can divide 16 to give us 4. 4 into 4 again is 1, into 24 is 6. 6 into itself 1. 6 into this upper 6 is 1. So our answer came out as -1. Okay, like I always say, when they ask you to show, you must state something. You know, say since MAB MAC times MBD equals -1, then line AC and line BD bisect at 90 degrees. Shaking, and that one, as we are done with A. Okay, we are done with A. This is the English you speak. So if you divide here, try to divide here. All right, so this is just A for you. So let's go back to the board, to the question, and see what the second one says. Now the second question says we should calculate the ratio of line AB, okay, the length of the line AB and the length of the line AC, the ratio of the two. Okay, so let's get the length. Okay, let me do B here. Okay, let me do B here. Let me do B this way. Okay, so for B, okay, for AII, this is AII. So let's get the length of line BD. So in lines, this thing doesn't mean magnitude though. It doesn't mean magnitude. It's in vector that it means magnitude. All right, but in lines, it's just the length of the line. So BD is going to be equal to the square root of bracket S2 minus X1 all squared plus bracket Y2 minus Y1 all squared. Okay, so we're going to put everything there and then get our values. All right, so let's begin from here. What is BD? B is -4. So let's, okay, if I could write this thing, A is 4,0, B is 14,11, C is 0,6, and then D is -10, -5. All right, so let's pick our values from here. So BD is going to be equal to the square root of S2, B to D, B and D. Now S2 is -5. Okay, S2 is -10, then -14 all squared plus then -5 -11 all squared. Okay, so I'm making reference to B and D. So this becomes X1, Y1, S2. Okay, this is S2, Y2 here. This is X1, Y1. So -5 -11 all squared, then -10 -14 all squared. Okay, so with calculator, I don't want to spend so much time dealing with this one. So let's get everything with calculator. So we have in a bracket -10 -14 all squared, then plus -5 -11 all squared. Okay, that will give us 8. That will give us 8 root 13 units. 13 units. So you leave it there. So let's pick up BD, AC now. AC. Okay, so AC will be the same formula. I don't need to rewrite it again. The formula is here. So let's pick A to C. So here becomes X1. This becomes Y1. This becomes X2, Y2. So let's pick 0 minus 4. 0 minus 4 all squared plus then 6 minus 0 all squared. 6 minus 0 all squared. So with calculator, we'll be having 16 plus 36. So that will give us 2 root 13. 2 root 13 units. Okay, so this one is done and dusted. So what we are going to get is now the ratio. So the ratio BD, line BD is to line AC, is going to be, pick the BD, which is 8 root 13. 8 root 13 is to 2 root 3. So you're going to reduce this into the lowest term. The sod, we cancel the sod. 2 we cancel itself, 1. 8 we cancel by 2, 4. So the ratio, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be equal to 4 is to 1. So number 2, the II is done and dusted. So we're going to jump into the B part of the question. So I'm going to shift down the question. I'm going to shift it down so that we can have a little space to solve them. Okay, now the B part of the question says that the points A, B, C are A, B, C, D, A, B, C are the vertices of a triangle. So let's get that triangle. So for B, we are now solving B. So I'll make a sketch, a little sketch. Okay. Let me draw something meaningful. Okay, this is our triangle. This is our triangle. So this is A, this is B. Okay, no. I need to let me shift this thing. So let me shift it so that I can have enough space to. All right. So this is my board now. Okay. Okay. So let us take this question. This is what we have here. This is it. This is a triangle. Okay. So here is A. This is B, and then this is C. Okay. So A is 7 and 9, and then B is 3 and 5, and then C is 5 and 1. Okay, so this is what we have. And they are the vertices of a triangle. Then the question went on to say if H and K are the midpoints of AB and AC. So we have AB. The midpoint of AB, that means that line, that point that divides this line into two equal parts is H. Is H here. And then the one that divides AC, all right, into two equal parts, which is here, is okay, is, what do we call it? Is K. Sorry for the delay. Is K. Okay. So now the question went on to say find the equation of the line HK. So the HK is a line. All right. Let me try to draw that HK here. So HK is a line. HK is a line. Right. HK is a line. All right. Let's draw. So if I draw this line here, okay. If I try to draw this line here, okay, that HK is a line. All right. So they say we should find that line HK. Okay. So let's go back to the board. Let's go back to our solving. Now, what am I going to do with this H? This says H is a point that divides this into two equal parts. That is the midpoint of a line. So we need to get X and Y here. All right, we need to get X and Y here. We also need to get X and Y here. Okay, so for H, the X for H is going to be X1 plus Y1 over 2. And then X for Y, we're going to be having Y1 plus Y2 over 2. All right, coordinate of the midpoint. So the first one is going to be this line AB now. AB is the line. So let's take it 3 plus 7. All right, 7 plus 3 divided by 2. So this one is going to be, okay, and 5 plus 9 divided by 2. Nkembo, I picked 7 plus 3, S1, S2, Y1, Y2. So for the second one, I'm going to be having 9 plus 5 divided by 2. So this one will come out as 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Then 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 divided by 2 is 7. Okay, so the coordinates here will be, the coordinate, we've already got that, is going to be 5 here and then 7. So we've calculated it out. Now for the K, what we're going to do is, this is for H. Now for K, alright, we'll still do the same thing. S is equal to x1 plus s2 divided by 2, and then y is going to be y1 plus y2 divided by 2 again. So we're talking about A to C. That's where we can find this A to C. That's where we can find this K. So let's get the x-axis. It's going to be 7 plus 5 divided by 2. 7 plus 5 divided by 2. All right, that's going to give us 6. All right, am I correct? Yes, 6. Because 7 plus this is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6 here. Then for the y, 9 plus 1. So here is going to be 9 plus 1. 9 plus 1 divided by 2, which will come out as 10 divided by 2, 5. So this one is out also. All right, this one is out also, which is 6, 5. Okay, so with these two things now, with this h and k coordinates we have got, what we need to do next is to calculate the line, find the equation of the line. Now this is 2-point form of equation. So line HK equation of line HK is gotten by using y minus y1 over x minus x1 s1 is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so we're going from h to k. Okay, so if you're moving from h to k, h is this one, 5 and 7, and then k is this one, 6 and 5. Okay, so that means here is x1, y1, s2, y2. So let's move it a bit up and solve. Okay, so now the equation is going to be y minus y1 is 7 over x minus x1 is 5, which is equal to y2 is 5 minus y1 is 5, y1 is 7 over x2 is 6, then x1 is 5. Okay, so this is going to give us y minus 7 over x minus 5, which is equal to 5 minus 7 is minus 2. 6 minus is 1. Okay, so minus 2 over 1, which is the same as minus 2. When we cross multiply, we'll have y minus 7 times 1, which is y minus 7, is equal to minus 2. Multiply these two values at the denominator, which will give us minus 2x plus 10. Okay, so let's get the equation of the line. Y will be equal to minus 2x. Now this minus 7 will cross over to the right hand side, giving us plus 17. Okay, so this is the equation of line HK. Okay, that one is out. See, it's going very simple, just to understand the question. Okay, So now the next one is where we have an issue. So I'm going to move this thing so that I'm going to move this diagram here, okay, so that we can get something. All right, the question says that we have a point P and Q. At that point is the point of intersection of line HK. HK is a line, point of intersection of the line HK, okay, and the x-axis. So HK touch the x-axis at P, then touch the y-axis at Q. All right, so they say we should find the point of intersection of that HK at x-axis and at y-axis. Okay, invariably they want us to find point P and point Q. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Instead of redrawing something, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, where am I moving this? Okay, let me go on. I'm going to draw something here. I'm going to draw the coordinate, the x and y axis. So if I use this one, if I use this, I will have this line. I will have this line. So I'm answering a question here. Then I'll have this one. Okay. Okay, so this is our axis here. This is our axis. So instead of redrawing that triangle, let me assume this is the triangle. Okay, this is the triangle. Okay, so they said we have a point here which is H, and then we have a point here which is K. Okay, so if we draw a line, if you continue this line, this HK line, if you continue it, okay, if you continue that line, all right, if you continue that line to touch here and pass through this point, okay, so let me move it a little bit so that you can lap. Okay, so this is the line. All right, so this is the line. We are saying that it touched okay, so we are saying that this point here is H and this point here is K. Okay, so we have our A and then our B, then our C. So that line HK touched the x-axis and the y-axis. This is the y-axis, this is the x-axis. So it touched the y-axis here. All right, and that point is, what did they call that point? What did they call the point? They call the point x-axis is P, y-axis is Q. So the x-axis is P, so this point is P. The point is P here, and the point here where the HK line touch the x-axis, this is Q, and this one is P. So we have to find the value of this particular 2 points. So we should know something. When it touches the x-axis, when a line touches the x-axis, at this point x value is 0. So it's supposed to be x-axis is 0, while we need to find the y. While if it touches it on the x-axis, all right, the x-axis is what we are going to be looking for, while the y-axis will be 0. So at this point, y is 0, we are looking for x. So how do we solve to get the point P and Q? So we say when x is equal to 0, when x is equal to 0, so for Q, when x is equal to 0, we use the equation of the line we've got. All right, this line, this HK line is equal to minus 2x plus 17. Minus 2x plus 17. So let's substitute x equals to 0. So y will be equal to minus 2 bracket 0 plus 17. So y will be equal to 17. So the coordinate there is going to be 0, 17. So that point is out. So for P, so for P, all right, you now say when y is 0, Okay, so we use our formula, which is y equals to minus 2x plus 17. Okay, so y is equal to minus, okay, y is 0 already, so we'll replace it with 0. So we're having 0 is equal to minus 2x plus 17. So I think this minus 2x will cross over. We have 2x is equal to 17. So x is equal to 17 divided by 2, which is the same as 8.5. Okay, so the value here will be 8.5 comma 0. 8.5 comma 0. All right, 8.5 comma 0. So we have got that particular question. All right, so this is the origin O, and at the origin x is 0, y is 0. Okay, so the final part of the question says we should calculate the area of triangle OPQ, where O is the origin. Oh, nice. So OPQ, triangle OPQ, this is OPQ. Okay, so let's calculate that diagram. Let's calculate that. Area of a triangle in a Cartesian. All right, area of triangle, all right, in plane, all right, is given by this delta is equal to half modulus x1 bracket y2 minus y. So I have 1, 2, 3. So x1 y2 minus y3, then plus s2 bracket y, okay, s2 y3 minus y1, then plus s3 now bracket y1 minus y2, then close the modulus. Okay, so here we are having, they said triangle OPQ. OP what? OPQ. Okay, so if that is the case, then let's get them out. O is 0, 0, then P is 8.5, 0, then Q is going to be equal to 0.17. 0.17. Okay, so this is the 3 points that we have. Okay, so this is x1, s2, s3, y1, y2, y3. Okay, so the answer is almost out. Okay, so let's get it. All right, so delta is equal to 1 over 2 modulus x1 is 0, so I'm having 0 multiplying y2 is 0 again, 0 minus y3 is 17, then plus x2 is 8.5 bracket 8.5, y3 is 17 minus y1 is 0. Okay, then plus x3 is 0 bracket y1 is 0 minus y2 is 0. Okay, so invariably this whole thing will give us 0, this whole thing will give us 0. So we are now having 1 over 2 modulus 8.5 times 17. Okay, so with calculator, 8.5 times 17 is 144. So this is half times 144.5. Okay, so 144.5 divided by 2 will give us 72.25. All right, squared units. Okay, so this question has been defeated beautifully. Okay, thank you. Study it.